Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 5th Annual Pritzker Emerging Environmental Genius Award. I'm Marilyn Raphael, Director of the UCLA Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. We're really glad you're here. We have a wonderful event for you tonight, but first, it's important that we as a land-grant institution acknowledge the Gabrielino Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of Tovanga, the Los Angeles Basin, and the South Channel Islands. Tonight, we'll be hearing from exciting individuals advancing solutions for the world's most pressing environmental problems. You'll hear from the former US Chief Technology Officer who served in the White House as part of the Obama administration. You'll hear from last year's award winner. You'll hear from this year's finalists. And you'll also hear from award founder, Mr. Tony Pritzker, as he reveals this year's winner. One thing you'll notice listening to tonight's problem solvers is that each brings a distinct skill set and expertise. The climate crisis and other environmental crises that we face today demand the creative thinkers from all backgrounds. Our finalists are perfect examples of those capable to take on challenges we all care about because of their unique knowledge and drive. David Diaz is an elected official and nonprofit director. He wields his power to cut through confusing bureaucracy to serve what the EPA calls one of the top 10% disadvantaged communities in California. From introducing electric school buses to creating green spaces, he's making the air healthier to breathe in his home community, El Monte and the broader San Gabriel Valley. Farwiza Farhan scales homegrown solutions to protect the Loiza ecosystem in Indonesia. This is the last place in the world where tigers, elephants, orangutans, and rhinos live together. She's advancing gender rights and seeding cultural change in a way only someone from her community can, creating jobs for women as rangers and environmental paralegals. Churchillman is a Karuk organizer, a mentor, and an ecological expert. He masterfully leverages science, media, and tribal advocacy because, as he puts it, you cannot have success unless you include all of those pieces. He has been instrumental in dam removals, fire management, and other achievements, all for the benefit of ecological and cultural restoration. I encourage you to learn more about the work of our finalists and nominees by browsing this event page. To be nominated for this award is a prestigious occasion in and of itself. It means someone from our esteemed panel of nominators deeply believes in your work. Congratulations, and thank you for your amazing contributions. It's an absolute privilege for us to be home to this award. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce someone who cares deeply about making solutions accessible to all. She's the CEO of Shift7, a tech-forward organization addressing social, environmental, and economic problems. Before that, she was the US Chief Technology Officer and a Vice President at Google. Megan Smith, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Marilyn. It's wonderful to be here with this network. This is the kind of network that can change the world. I want to maybe start by just reflecting for each of us, we've come together. Who invited you? Who told you about this? For me, it was a combination of two people, Dan Hammer, who was a winner many years ago, a genius data scientist. He was working at NASA doing APIs and as one of the lead presidential innovation fellows. When I met him, we were lucky to have him come to Team CTO in the White House. Now he's at Earthrise Media, really an agency for the Earth. And then Susan Alsner, who's one of my business partners at Shift7, is a nominator. And It's been amazing to be part of this network, and I really thank UCLA and Tony, you for pulling together the resources and your vision for this. So the main thing that I want to share is just, it takes a network to really accelerate anything. I had the chance to work in Silicon Valley, working on Google and other things. Today, I got an email from old friends, and I wanted to share this old document. It's the solar car race across Australia, 1987, the first time straight across a continent. And some of my old school teammates from MIT, someone sent some of these things. And so I went and found this old piece. I'm sharing it because as a young innovator in working on solar and other kinds of projects, I'm a mechanical engineer. I was wanting to deal with the fact that our river was on fire in Buffalo, that the Great Lakes were dying, that we needed to get to green power. And I guess one of the things for me, it's a long time coming, to get to electric cars and others. This is in the 80s. And so I think we finally have the momentum, and now it's going to be about the solution makers. And it's about all of you. All 20 of our nominees are extraordinary. I often actually talk about Lahua and the Polynesian Voyaging Society, because in this age of AI, it's really human intelligence, this ability for them to sail around the planet with no instruments and just human capability on our planet. Our 3 finalists are extraordinary. We work with the United Nations on a thing called the United Nations Solution Summit. And we just ask, who is already solving the Sustainable Development Goals? And the last time we ran it, we got 1,400 submissions from 141 countries in 3 weeks. So just remember, there's someone out there, even our little company, Shift 7 means, and we mean shift to 7 billion colleagues. If we could help each other, lift each other up, accelerate each other, then the surface area of solution making really takes off. We have so many problems in the world. We need all of us. We need our youth. And in fact, you in LA today, there's a hackathon with NASA that the city's doing with all kinds of communities, Compton, other teams on air quality with sensors and that. So how do you work on your hometown for your homework? So those are just some ideas to kick us off. I look forward to hearing from everybody in the network. I'm honored to make the next introduction in the baton pass of tonight. Clara Pratt is the winner from last year. And we're going to catch up with her. She's close to my heart because solar was where I started, and she's really scaling, the founder of Navajo Power. Clara, take it away.
Thank you so much. And as you can see, I'm mobile. I'm out here in the great Navajo Nation, one of our very rural areas, and was meeting with grassroots family. And it's really part of the work that we continue to do with the Navajo Power team to make sure we're providing equitable solar access to our tribal communities. And it's such an honor to be here with such esteemed nominees for this next year's award. And I can tell you the impact that this award has had on us as the Navajo Power team and the work we continue to do here in tribal communities. We set out saying we're going to use the award to do some off-grid systems. Well, we were able to do more off-grid systems than we initially thought we'd be able to do. And not only that, we were able to promulgate a really innovative solution with Navajo Technical University to start some workforce development. And we were able to install 8 outdoor classrooms, fully solar, in the midst of the COVID pandemic, making sure that we can stay safe, and having solar as part of that solution, especially out here on Navajo, where we know that we're estimated to have about 18,000 homes that continue to not have access to electricity, even as large KV lines go over many of our communities. The home that I was at this evening out here in Cameron is on a solar system that my co-founder and partner, Brett Isaac, built for this family. And out the window, as we're discussing the solar development, we see the KV lines going right through the community and still homes without electricity. So when we're developing solar, it's so much more than just bringing electricity to homes. It's doing so in a way that makes sure that we honor and respect the cultural heritage of our communities, making sure we keep benefits local. And Pritzker being a part of that solution is just very exciting. And I'm just really grateful for the support, the community. And I'm so looking forward to the wonderful things that the next round of nominees will be doing in the future. And with that, I'll be passing it on to David Diaz.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Diaz. I was born in Ensenada, Mexico. My parents immigrated to the United States with the dream to create a better life and opportunities for our family. Their relentless work ethic inspired me to advance my education, be the first to graduate college in our family, and receive a master's of public health with one goal in mind: to serve the communities that raised me. In the communities I grew up in, Almani and South Almani, we live in a concrete jungle where we are being suffocated by the crisscross of freeways, surrounded by mountains of trash, while the small planes from the San Gabriel Valley Airport rain down lead poison and pollution on a daily basis. The EPA describes our communities as a top 10 disadvantaged community due to high levels of pollution, a history of contaminated sites, low park space, high poverty, and high unemployment rates. These poor urban planning and public health outcomes are not by accident. Decades of disinvestment, displacement of racist policies have led to the conditions we continue to endure. I do this work because I'm a product of my environment. I know my lived experience and challenges are not unique to me, but shared among my neighbors. I do this work because I believe in equity and justice, and I cannot stand idly by while our communities continue to experience harm. Working at Active San Gabriel Valley, my team and I have been working alongside community members, cities, school districts, businesses, nonprofit organizations to advance environmental justice, equity, and regenerative policies. Over the course of the last 7 years, we've completed over a dozen active transportation plans, secured over $250 million in policy advocacy wins, secured over $40 million for parking greenway projects, conducted the longest open streets program in the United States, opened the first bike park in Almani, hosted thousands of educational workshops, helped thousands of people get vaccinated, and so much more. In 2017, I ran for office because the local youth I was organizing alongside wanted to create a food forest at their local high school to increase access to fresh fruits and vegetables. However, they were met with liability concerns. I ran for office, came in first place, and I'm happy to report that food forest has been implemented. As an elected official of the Almani United School District, my mission is to close the student achievement gap through environmental leadership. During my tenure on the high school district board, we are one of the only school districts in the country to have banned styrofoam, installed reusable water stations, installed solar canopies at each of the high schools, purchased an all-electric bus fleet, battery storage, and implemented retrofitted storage containers. We're also developing wellness centers and farm labs at each of the high schools that are coupled with a horticultural pathway and outdoor learning opportunities for students, creating the next generation of environmental stewards. As a husband, son, friend, neighbor, and now the father to a beautiful 18-month-old, I really am trying my best to create the change I want to see in the world. My son loves to spend time outdoors, and I am deeply concerned about the future we are leaving behind for him and his peers. Going outside whenever you may want may not be an option in the future unless we take bold, urgent action to address the climate crisis. In closing, I want to thank my partner, Anais Medina Diaz, for ongoing love and support, my friend and mentor, Rudy Espinoza, for nominating me, the Active SGV team, the UCLA team, evaluators, and Mr. Pritzker for the opportunity to be recognized tonight. Congratulations to all the folks who were nominated and to the finalists. I feel truly honored to be here with you all. I'm looking forward to continuing to be part of the change and healing that Mother Earth requires. With that, have a good evening, and I'd like to introduce Farwiza Farhan. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Hi, everyone. I'm going to start with this. Water is our everything. Water is our source of life. And the only thing that protects our water is the forest up in the mountain. Sumini, a mother and a woman ranger, told me once, as someone who grew up in the city, I tend to trust that the tap will provide us with the clean water we need. Growing up, it didn't even occur to me how scarce these life-giving resources are. My desire to protect the forest initially came from my love of wildlife. But the force that keeps me going is the strength of the people that I work with. When you want to protect a landscape that spans 6.5 million acres, you're bound to come across problems and conflict of interest. Almost every day in the past month, cases of human-wildlife conflict unfolded in different corners of the ecosystem. The rate of deforestation is declining, but forest loss is still happening. Conflict over land tenure is ongoing. And to top it off, the changing climate has brought disaster at the scale we have never witnessed before. But ours is not a story of loss after loss. It is a story of the journey that we are on. In the past decade, coalitions of actors on the ground have restored over 12,000 acres of forests, supported multiple community-based conservation initiatives, patrolled thousands of acres of buffer zones, and dismantled hundreds of snare traps that could kill the critically endangered wildlife of Sumatra. Our work with the community to establish the first ever woman ranger in the land ruled by Sharia law has begun to shift perception about the role of women in natural resources management. Our citizen lawsuits empower and inspire grassroots community to take part in changing the regulation pertinent to land use, which their livelihood depend on. Our legal campaign have brought heavy punishment against oil companies who are guilty of burning thousands of hectares of forest. But we know the work is not done. Perhaps conservation work is the kind of work that is never done. But I'm optimistic. Coming from a far corner of Sumatra, I would never imagine that one day I would be standing here, uttering these words to such a respectable audience. But here I am. Yet, none of these accolades and acknowledgements are mine alone. Everything we achieved together. I stand before you today on behalf of hundreds of rangers who dedicate their life to protecting the Loiser ecosystem. On behalf of hundreds of local communities who are defending their lives and livelihood through maintaining the health of the ecosystems. And on behalf of passionate, dedicated, and driven donors and team members who share our vision and commitment to protect, conserve, and restore the Loiser ecosystem. Whatever the outcome is today, this is a privilege, and I thank you. Now I'm gonna introduce you to Churchillman.
Thank you. Ayuki, I'd like to start by giving a shout out to all the land defenders that were arrested today up in Canada, all the land defenders that were arrested yesterday, and the land defenders that will be arrested tomorrow for defending their homelands from environmental destruction. I've got a friend who's a carpenter, and he has asked me in the past, how do you do these projects and work on this work that takes so long? You know, when he's doing his carpentry work, he can see the fruits, you know, bear every day. And when we're doing this other work, sometimes it could take 10 years, 20 years, you know, or longer. And it is hard to, you know, kind of keep the faith. But we know what we're doing is we're building the foundation for the children to build the house. You know, that's all we can do is we build the foundations, and the next generation will build the house. And it does get pretty tough sometimes to do this work, this long-term work where you don't know how long it's going to be till you see the fruits of your labor. And maybe you'll never see those fruits. But if we're planting the seeds, you know, that's the best we can do. You know, I feel like the time is now, and this is the only time we have. We can look back and say, I wish things would have been different in the last few hundred years for what's happened to the landscape and the environment, but we really can't. We have to do what we need to do right now. And I just really want to thank my my ancestors for making it. You know, this idea of emerging environmental award that you guys are giving tonight. It's no accident and it's no coincidence that we're here. We're the people that our ancestors dreamed of, prayed for, and survived through massacres, rapes, genocide of our land and our people. Our ancestors made sure that we made it, and they passed down the knowledge it takes for us to continue. And I feel like the last couple hundred years of environmental destruction and mismanagement that was the experiment, and it's put us on this collision course for this climate catastrophe that we're all currently in. And I feel it's time that we need to go back to what our ancestors taught us, how to treat the land and the earth and each other. And so with that, I'd like to pass it back to Marilyn, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Churchillman, and thank you, Farwiza and David. Regardless of today's outcome, we know that each of you has already done much to be proud of. Please know that we at UCLA would love to work with you. And for the nominators, judges, and broader award community, we have started an online portal with details on all award alumni. We encourage you to use it to find and reach each other. Last year, I announced a pilot program where I set aside funding to support collaborations between UCLA and all award nominees and alumni. I'm happy to share that we have 9 collaborations on the way, and we're eager to continue this work next year. To all the award finalists, nominees, and alumni, we will be in touch to share more on partnership opportunities. Next, we will hear from the founder of this award to share a few remarks and reveal this year's winner. Before he comes, I'd like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to both Jeannie and Tony Pritzker. It's because of their vision and support that we're able to gather and celebrate today. Thank you. And now to share some remarks on his vision for the award and to reveal the winner, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tony Pritzker. Tony, the floor is yours.
Hey, thank you very much, Marilyn. I really appreciate it. Well, here we are. You all have worked so hard for your lives to get to this point, and you have such a great road in front of you. I'm going to just give you a little bit of the reasoning that we started this. There's a quote from Dalai Lama, which is, it's our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and tend to the world in which we all live. That sounds so simple, it might sound so trite, but I also believe that we need to make sure that we pass it on for many, many generations, that we leave the world in a better place than we found it. When I go hiking with my kids, we sort of have a saying that I think I got from my parents, which is take only pictures and leave only footprints. And it's a bit of a reflection of where we are in the world, which is we're just passing through, and we need this to last for quite a long time. So I think that, along with lots of other reasons, is why we decided to create this award. My wife and I deeply care for the environment, and I think all my kids do as well. I think for anyone who's nominated, you should use this as a calling card to say that you were a nominee or winner or finalist or whatever for the Emerging Environmental Genius Award. It's not so much about Pritzker as much as it is, if you use that as a calling card to open a door to hopefully then accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, that's really the objective. That's what we're trying to honor and what we're trying to give you, more than just whatever the financial award is, or the plaque or anything else that you get. It should be a calling card so that you can use this as a badge of honor. And I think people want to talk to you. If, hey, who wouldn't want to talk to a genius? So a couple of quick thank yous, and then we'll pass on. I think congratulations to David and Farwiza and Chukcha for having the courage to lead your communities and the next generation of environmental leaders. You're inspiring them. I want to thank the nominees, the nominators, for enlightening us to the work that you guys are doing. I don't know that we would necessarily know about it, and so we're lucky to have that. And then a shout out goes to the IOES board, the IOES leadership, Marilyn, and the biggest shout out goes to Colin for putting this together, organizing. It takes a lot of effort, and we really appreciate your effort around that. Okay, so without further ado, I was just delivered this glimmering, shiny envelope, which, as you can see, is still sealed. So regardless of whose name I read, seriously, you guys are all winners in our book. So good luck. Okay. So the 2021 Pritzker Emerging Environmental Genius Award winner is Farwiza Farhan. Farwiza, congratulations. Congratulations to you.
Oh, I did not see that. I did not see that coming.
I know it might.
Oh my God.
You went through a lot to get here, and it is so exciting.
I don't know what to say.
You were supposed to have prepared a speech.
No, but oh my God. Thank you.
This is recognition for the hard work that you've put in. This really is. I'm so excited for you. And you should not only, probably first call your parents and tell them, because they deserve a little bit of the credit, but you should call all your friends and you should shout it out in the community, and hopefully, people get excited about it.
Oh my God, yeah. Tony, I really did not see this coming. Getting to the point of becoming a finalist was already such a privilege. Being nominated was already such a giant surprise. I saw the other nominees, and I don't know how I could be on this list. And thank you so much.
Look who's on the screen with you. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. Can't hear you.
The more I've learned about your work, and I'm glad I was able to share it with the world. And I'm glad they saw in you what I saw in you and your work. And I also want to say that what an incredible group of finalists. So what a great group to be in, and what an honor for you to win. So thank you.
I could not stop, crying the tears of joy. Yeah.
You're going to make me cry too. It's great.
Oh,
it's great.
God.
And it's beautiful. I mean, it really is beautiful. And I love that all three of the finalists are so passionate about what they're doing, and you can see it in their voice, you can hear it, in their description of their work. And, you know, I read up on all of the nominees, which was a very, very broad list. And believe me, all the nominees deserve some sort of award, but I'm really excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. You heard my dogs barking. They're excited. And my kids are excited if you can see the pictures.
I hope that this would bring the impact for everyone that we work with, the groups of ranger women. I hope we could expand the work. And I sincerely, from the depth of my heart, I thank you, Tony, for making this happen, and David for nominating me, and everyone of the judges and the panel that arrived at this decision. So thank you, just deep thank you.
Congratulations. And now I think we turn it back to Marilyn, right?
Yes, you do. Oh, that was exciting. Congratulations to Farwiza Farhan and to the finalists and all the nominees. If you're a candidate, a nominator, or another affiliate of the award, we hope to see you in the Zoom reception beginning in a few moments. For everyone else, thank you for coming. We hope to see you all next year. To conclude tonight's event, we'll now show you a pre-recorded message from award judge, Los Angeles Council member and mayoral candidate, Kevin De Leon.
Hi everybody, this is Kevin De Leon. Let me first congratulate all of the outstanding nominees for the incredible work each and every one of you is doing in spirit of improving our global environment through emerging research and practice. Now, it's my incredible honor and privilege to congratulate the 2021 Pritzker Emerging Environmental Genius Award winner. That's no other than Farwiza Farhan. Farwiza Farhan, today we're in the midst of an existential crisis that human beings have never experienced before. The impetus for that crisis is very clear by all scientific standards. Human-driven, human-created global warming. Now, your work as a researcher and forest conservationist is crucial to reversing the impacts of climate change and biodiversity loss. You are a thought leader, the thought leader that we need today more than ever. Now, your work gives us all hope that we can, in fact, achieve environmental change and be optimistic for a future where we don't have to implement draconian policies. Instead, we can simply coexist in a balanced way with the world around us. Now, I also want to express my deep thanks to Jeannie and Tony Pritzker for their immense generosity in founding this award and giving our geniuses the support that they need to bring about positive environmental changes. And lastly, let me extend my deep appreciation to the director of UCLA's Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. That's no other than our very own Marilyn Rafael. Thanks to her steadfast commitment, her leadership, this critical think tank is developing global strategies to address the threats to our environment. I wish you all a very continued success in your collective efforts. And I look forward to learning and leaning on your guidance as the work that I implement to sustain policies that make LA a world leader on environmental sustainability. So to each and every one of you, I bid you a very, very good day. To our incredible winner, congratulations to you once again. To the Pritzkers, thank you very much. The UCLA family for all that you do. Marilyn, we have an opportunity to improve the human condition for all individuals, not just locally, statewide, nationally, but globally. And that starts right here at UCLA. Thank you very much, everybody.